I'm going to swap to Torqueduh, mind the map color changes, and we're going to see what he's building here. And it looks like he has just a straight up Sherman tank. You can see he's got 2 army items for Sherman tank. The 20% increased attack speed, that's an epic item, and then 10% armor. Pretty cool there, pretty cool there. Good looking control over the map here. Now it looks like Star of the War has regained control over this left hand side, or rather is just holding onto it well. I still want to see him cap this point here. Don't be sloppy about your point captures. Again, this half track in the center here is just gunning down what looks like the remains of this Grenadier squad. The sniper is really kind of putting the hurt on some of these advanced defense engineers. Retreating, oh, just in time to avoid that sniper shot. Meanwhile, half track, and it looks like a fully upgraded armored car. 24% max health and 15% munitions cost reduction on the Greyhound mine. So he's got the bargain Greyhound mine army item there. So Trailblazer Rifleman once again going to go ahead and run right through him. Looks like a mortar shot taking out a bunch of them. Charging on in, not knowing who to attack, and then retreating again. So just kind of getting massacred there. But just in time for another flank here by Wilson's Riflemen, who are now almost completely murdered. They get a single hand grenade off. Didn't really focus any particular target and having to retreat. So 2 kind of hapless attacks there. Unfortunately, a little bit poorly coordinated. Now you can see Play for Fun and Torqueduh are just taking up the mechanized assault here on the left. We do have this half track right now just gunning into this, gunning into this little mortar team here, getting veterancy 1 off of that. Looks like the Greyhound armored car is sneaking around here. Hopefully Torqueduh does have a ton of munitions, by the way. Note that. I would love to see him dropping some Greyhound mines down this path. This is the main path for retreating and resupplying. Greyhound mines really awesome at that. Meanwhile, we've got a bunch of mines here, and it looks like the Axis are just kind of pounding into this building, trying to free it of all of its allied infestations. You can see for the most part, it looks like Torqueduh is just backcapping this fuel. That's exactly what he wants to do. This fuel is the key to victory on this map. Note these mines. I keep wondering if the Jeep is going to drive over that. So much action here, and it looks like, no, the Sherman tank got a little bit overeager and decided to come out here and start attacking people. Little did he know there was not 1, but 2 anti-tank guns ready to gun him down. And now he's shooting. He blows up 1 mine by just a stray shot, and the main gun is destroyed. He has slow motion, out of control, hits another mine, and you can see that 50 caliber machine gunner was just kind of gunning away there. So hits a 3rd mine. Look at him. He's just mine sweeping right now. And looks like that tank is taken care of. So a little over ambitious with that tank. Always keep a mental note in your head where these anti-tank guns are. You knew they were there because they were thumping away at this building. We've got an allied mortar team now firing back and forth here. And aha! Look at that. He's going to go ahead and place a landmine. I do like seeing that happen. But by the way, special note, if any of you have ever been frustrated by this, a Greyhound plants a mine much like a delicate peacock would lay an egg. He's kind of like, oh, almost here. Just going to rotate slightly, and we're going to plant a mine here. So always plant a mine right in front of the direction you're facing. Otherwise, you'll sit there and rotate over and over and over again. Looks like a single slight gust of wind was able to take care of that that half track with the quad. And look at that, he planted, again, perfectly planting the mine, not causing any unnecessary rotation. We've got a big fat Greyhound mine in the middle of all these troops. Will it hit anybody? They run in, boom, does 2 casualties and almost kills the remaining 2 guys. That Greyhound gets out of there with 1 kill. Oh, that's interesting, that only counted for 1 kill. So, meanwhile, we do have dominating control here. I do like seeing what Star of the War has done. He's just kind of tank trapped off this place with some mines. And meanwhile, we do have a bunch of sniping and counter-sniping. Oh, counter-snipe happens. Will he get out of there in time? No, both snipers go down. Counter-snipe and then gunned down by a Greyhound armored car. 1 Greyhound now is taking shots at this anti-tank gun pointed the wrong way, but unfortunately, we do have an anti-tank gun and some Panzerschreck. So, Greyhound gone, a lot of losses there. So, meanwhile, dominating control over here. Just look at this nice little empire that it looks like Star of the War has been able to create. This is always a good thing to do on these kind of big team game maps. When your side has no pressure whatsoever and your allies are kind of okay, start trying to take control of it. Something kind of like this, maybe not quite like this. As you can see, sometimes just some base constructing techniques. If you're going to build something, don't just draw out a big line of them and expect your guys to build them. Not only will, as soon as you let go of the mouse, not only will some of them drop away because they can't be placed there, but then just kind of randomly your guys won't build some of them anyways. As you can see, missing 1 here, they need something else here. So not exactly vehicle proof, but okay. And this barbed wire is kind of missing here as well. So kind of sloppy there, but we do have some sturdy German construction on this side of the map, though. That's looking pretty good. But it's okay, though. I mean, dominating is under fire. I mean, it's not like you can sit here and meticulously craft the Sistine Chapel while being constantly attacked and mortared and anti-tank gunned and all that. So Sherman tank once again out for play for fun. He's going to be moving right up here. We do have Fail's anti-tank gun. Man, I almost never see this used, but Fail's anti-tank gun is okay. I think it's inferior to Duffy's anti-tank gun, but no time to talk about that now because we've got fighting action happening everywhere. This Jeep in the center being sniped, oddly enough, and a massive, massive ball of DiscoStuH's Grenadiers. So kind of big blobs of Grenadiers going all over the place in this map. This anti-tank gun looks, this tank, the Sherman tank, is upgrading his 50 caliber machine gun, but as you can see, he is getting picked off by this anti-tank gun that is camouflaged at the moment. So lots of back and forth here. You can see running forward just in time to pick up that Panzer Shrek and then running away. And here we see the real power of just having an HMG team in here. This little gap here, I hope he repairs that or something, but or I hope somebody takes notice of that because that's definitely an important weakness there. We do have this nice bunker here. Hopefully he can pick up some of the people in the middle, but most likely he's just preparing for an invasion. Half track here, able to resupply, and it looks like he's starting to kind of try and fill in the gaps with barbed wire. That's kind of interesting here. Meanwhile, we do have these half track quad 50 caliber machine guns opening fire, and a support half track. Man, I do like support half tracks. You know, I don't always build half tracks, but when I do, I build support half tracks. They're pretty cool. Level 5 support half track. It just has a bigger radius and lots of cool stuff like that. You can't upgrade it though. But I don't like the quad 50 cals anyway, so it's not that bad. Here we do have Katsumari's Vos Grenadiers versus a bunch of Trailblazer Riflemen who are trying to reinforce from this half track. You can see that the Grenadiers here with their Panzer Shreks are just kind of laying waste to them, and now just kind of backing off again. Meanwhile, we do have these anti-tank guns. It's just kind of a lot of posturing right now. Everybody knows that this is the place to fight over, and they're just kind of lying in wait to see what will happen. Big clusters of troops here. It's important to note Star of the War has gone all the way up to Vet 3 Grenadiers. He just kind of made a beeline for that build, and he's going to be kind of like the spammy infantry guy. Quite a lot of infantry out for DiscoStuH though at the moment as well. Let's take a look back at the bases while the fighting's going on here. You can see it looks like Dominating got a Panzer Command out, and that's about it, except for everybody else here has a Kampfkraft Center. Once again, nice looking middle action here. This heavy machine gun team backed up support half track quad 50. Boom! Takes a Panzer Shrek. These support half tracks have a bit more health too. I definitely like them. And machine gun team jumping into the building just as he gets sniped a little bit. And anti-tank gun. Oh, a single anti-tank gun shot. Doesn't matter how much health it has. That thing goes down and all the troops are ejected out of it. Skilled tank destroyer going on. Now we have just lots of fighting going on, kind of all over the place. Riflemen getting pinned down by. Well, actually, that's not a real. Wow, artillery strike going on here. My favorite visual effect in the game right now. Just beautiful. I'm always mesmerized at these big dirt plumes. Love the way that looks. Anyhow, now this has been upgraded to a machine gun nest, and it looks like everybody here is pinned, and the allies are just kind of having trouble getting through all of this, just kind of bogged down at all the base defenses here. You can see anti-tank guns, base defenses. Is that an artillery strike coming down on the building? Let's check this out. Artillery strike. Maybe. Oh, yes, there it goes. Oh, artillery strike. Taking out part of the wall, taking out a chunk of the building, taking out some of the base defenses here. Looking pretty good. Ooh, I'm just still mesmerized by that. Meanwhile, big fighting going on here. Can't be too distracted. We have a nice little firestorm rocket barrage going off. Looks like all the allies were able to get out of the way for the most part. A lot of these little experiences seem to be just kind of jibbed bodies or something. We do have the Sherman tank up front here. Quad 50 still kind of hovering around. At the very least, I think this is the way to use a Quad 50. Keep it way away from danger, just enough to provide some fire, but that's about it. Look at this little trap entrance here. It looks like he couldn't quite barbed wire that off, but there's just a mine just chilling out there, waiting for whoever decides to go through the obvious entrance. Sherman tank now, getting some kills. Looks like we do have a rocket barrage hanging out here trying to pick off the last of this machine gun team, but you can see this building itself is just about to collapse. Allies regaining the fuel in the middle there, at least temporarily, and now a huge attack coming from DiscoStuH. He's got a wide variety of troops here, a lot of Grenadiers, but then a mortar team and some other stuff like that. So looking out on the right-hand side, we see, coming through the nice hole that was just dropped by that artillery strike, we do have a bunch of Wilson's riflemen coming in, kind of engaging really close combat style, but having to retreat because these Grenadiers are just being resupplied. Looks like the Quad 50 is just kind of providing some cover fire. These Grenadiers getting kind of chewed up a little bit while the tank drives away. You can see a little bit of repairs going on here. Nothing too fancy. And meanwhile, all quiet on the Western Front. Not much going on here. By the way, great movie. I've plugged that a couple of times before. Meanwhile, we do have a huge ball of troops coming up here from Torquda. A bunch of riflemen with Browning automatic rifles. We do have a few engineers and, of course, the Trailblazer riflemen. Kaboom, kaboom. Oh, look at that. The reverberations. I believe that is a Magic the Gathering card. I tried to say the aftershocks from that rocket barrage taking out the building, taking out the outpost there. So meanwhile, just kind of keeping an eye on all the various skirmishing going on in this map here. We do have some cloaked demolitions engineers. These guys are cool, cloaked demolition engineers. Not only do they have the free minesweeper upgrade, but they can drop demo charges. So those guys can be really useful in team games when you're trying to clear out a bunch of bunkers. Looks like they threw a satchel charge in that bunker. Kaboom! Takes it out completely, kills all the medics and whoever else was lying around there. Now we do have a Calliope on the field, of course. Calliope, pretty much the Calliope's job for the rest of this game, I can predict, is going to be to take care of these huge amounts of Grenadiers, because that's one of the best counters to blobs of Grenadiers is a Calliope late game. So, looks like this half-track taking a little bit of damage, moving up. Being really aggressive here. I think Torquda is being almost unnecessarily aggressive. Hopefully he can get a kill and get out of here, but you can see, that looks like a walking Stutka. Where is that? We'll find that in a moment here. Walking Stutka firing somewhere around here on the battlefield. Oh, well, I'll check it out later, because we have massive gunfights going on. Oh, it looks like that support half-track instantly murdered by a combination of Panzer Shreks and this anti-tank gun. Infantry attrition is activated. You can tell by the little swirling arrows over their heads, and therefore all of those riflemen are going to be replaced. Spraying a couple of shots here from this half-track, and if I go to the corner of the map, yes, you will see a bunch of riflemen there. But everything's looking pretty good for the meanwhile. We do have a bunch of... Oh, here it is, by the way, and boop! Gonna go in for a little linguistics lesson here. So we have here a half-track with rocket launchers on it. Now this is known as the Walking Stutka. The Stutka being a dive bomber, a German dive bomber, and the name Walking Stutka comes from the fact that it is a ground version of a dive bomber, of course, since it fires those little rockets up in the air. Now I was a little curious what the hell Stutka meant, so I went and looked it up, and Stutka is actually a mashup of the word oh God, German players are gonna laugh at me here, but Sturzkampfflugzeug. Sturzkampfflugzeug. It means dive bomber basically. It means Sturz is falling, Kampf is fighting, Flug is plane, and Zeug is thing. So falling, fighting thing. So anyhow. So Stutka is the Sturzkampf part of that. Sturzkampf is all put together. And that reminds me of the word Sudoku. If anybody else out here loves playing Sudoku. Sudoku is Japanese, and it is another combination word. It means Suji wa dokushin ni kaguri, which means only using each number once. But the Suji wa doku, Sudoku is where that comes from. And more popular is Pokemon, Pocket Monster. Another one of those weird words there. So that's that word. I'd like to give a special shout out to Sub-Zeroed Mind, who is fluent with the German language and was helping me out with some parts of lots of these words here, because as you all know, I'm always struggling with correct German pronunciations of things. Pretty sure I butchered that, but hey man, at least I'm trying. So the fighting continues. Lots and lots of Grenadiers here charging out to the center, backed by a couple of Volksgrenadiers. Huge infantry army out here moving along right now. You can see that these Calliopes kind of firing through each other. Calliope, like I was saying, the Calliope's job at this point in the game is going to be to try and stem the tide of these guys. Mass Vet 3 Grenadiers are just horrific to deal with. They are just very durable, and they retreat and resupply quickly, and they do tons of damage to armor. So that's one half of the army for the Germans right now.